have a sample syllabus for 391S Doing Digital, Critical Skills, Methods, and Literacies. This was taught in fall 2017 by Matthew Schilleman. This video is simply going to be a walkthrough of how the course was organized, and then I'll break down the individual units a bit more in some other videos. But this course was centered on combining learning Python, a coding language, with investigating humanist questions such as what counts as language, how is language defined in theories of literature or in linguistics. And as you can see, students are being asked to learn technical computing skills, and for them that meant learning to code in Python and being able to demonstrate that they could, for example, write functions, create for loops, define certain parameters for a text adventure, to analyze discourse as it evidences in social media networks. And they were also being asked to do a lot of their communicating online. So students only met once a week. The class was 2.5 hours long, and this meant that they had assignments due throughout the week that involved responding to other students' ideas in forum prompts in Moodle. And this was something that worked pretty well. One thing that the instructor would have liked to have changed would be to make the prompts due in the middle of the week. So students, the class met on Monday, and students' prompts were due on Sunday. That meant that students typically put things off until Sunday. So when they're learning coding and Python, they just didn't practice it for a week and then kind of dove into it on Sunday and Monday. In order to spread that out a bit, it might be a good idea to have, if you're only meeting once a week, to have assignments due in the middle of the week or a few times throughout the week, in order to have them kind of do a more steady and slow immersion into the material. So there are standard policies here. These will be up to you and your institution. But roughly, this course was divided into 3 units. One is programming a language, reading machines, and big data. And what this translates to roughly is kind of what counts as language in Unit 1. Once they've sort of investigated that question and come to some kinds of conclusions, then going into can computers read? So what is language? Can computers read language? And finally, how do networks manifest within these systems of language?